Hi, this is Grant Luna with Fidelity National Title and the Luna Title team. I'll be showing you how to generate sales comps using Fidelity National Title Passport. The link to this website is in the description, as well as a link to a walkthrough guide of how to create your own Fidelity Passport account and start generating sales comps. But not only sales comps, Passport's actually a really great resource for getting really deep dive information on property. So if you're interested in a property, maybe you have a listing coming up and you want an extensive look into that property's history, this is a resource for you. But I'll run through an example case to show you how this works. So let's say I have a listing coming up for an address that I'll type in here, and I want to generate sales comps for this. So I'll enter in the property address here. Make sure you have the correct county selected here to the right as well. Hit search. Now it's going to generate a report for me. It'll actually show me the owner information. So maybe if I'm actually just interested in a property, I can find out through this resource. But let's say I have a listing presentation coming up, and what I'm really interested in are sales comps. So most of the time within Passport, when you're generating these reports, you'll be focusing on this menu here. You can actually select and unselect certain items within this portion. But what we'll do is focus on the sales comps. So comparables report here. If you scroll down, what I recommend doing is actually customizing this comps report, particularly to that property in question. And so how you do that is selecting this arrow next to comparables report. And now in this comparables filter menu that appears, you can actually create and input some criteria that'll refine your comps search so you don't have irrelevant properties in the sales comps report for you. So one thing you could do is switch the length of time for these comps reports. And a lot of this information and some of these filters will save in your account. So once you do it once, it'll be nice because for later sales comps reports you generate, you can have those in mind. So let's say, for example, I want to focus on the last 3 months of sale comps. I can also change the distance away from the property. And I recommend shortening it down. The default is 1 mile, but for a town like San Pedro, for example, 1 mile can make a massive difference in terms of property values, completely different neighborhoods. So I recommend shortening it to something like 0.5 miles or even 0.25 miles if you want to get really narrow in that search. You can also filter by bedroom and bathroom count. So for example, if I just wanted 3 bedroom comps, I can select 0. So that's the margin for error, and then input 3 here. So basically I would type in 3 and basically ensure that the only properties that will be generated in this report are 3 bedroom households, but I'm going to unselect that for now. You can also scroll down in other features as well, such as a living area, so square footage, the type of construction. Also, I can select if it has a pool or not. So let's say I wanted to filter by pool. I'd make sure this is selected and click add, and that will be put into that filter for you. Let's say this is the filter I wanted to focus on, last 3 months and 0.5 miles away from the property. I'll click save and apply. And once I do that, it'll generate that sales comps report for me. So it'll give me a high comparable, a low comparable, and an average comparable. You can scroll down to the map and actually see where the sales comps are. And so what's helpful about this is you can look and see maybe there's a sales comp in Vista del Oro. This property in question is in South Shores, which is a completely different neighborhood in terms of value. And maybe you want to unselect some of these sales comps. Or maybe if you actually look within this sales comp report right here, and one of these properties looks to be really close to the bluff and might have a really great ocean view, isn't really comparable to the property we have in mind. So you can actually scroll down and unselect some of these properties. So let's say I didn't want this property, the super high value property, to be one of the sales comps. I can simply come down here, unselect 5. And now basically from here, let me move this webcam. I can select get now for these 4 sales comps. And now Passport will generate a property profile for me. So like I said, you're actually going to get ownership information. So if you scroll down, you'll get a deep dive on the ownership information, the property characteristics, the assessment and taxes for this property, as well as any lien history that is connected to this address. But here's where those sales comps will come in. So this is a page you can actually print out, maybe bring with you to sales comp report. But if you're just looking for quick sales comps for upcoming CMA that you have, this is a great resource for you.